I'm going to latch on to one thing that was said before about the image of Israel, and then I'll tell you about my personal experience. How wonderful that I finally can speak in front of Europeans, so that when I say Eurovision Song Contest, you all know what I'm talking about. I just yesterday and today I had a group of 25 gay Americans that were here, and we visited Israel and Jordan. And in the course of the conversation, I mentioned something about the Eurovision Song Contest and Dana International, and they looked at me and they had no idea. There was one person who had gone to school in Paris, and so he knew what it was, but they had no idea. So I said, well, kind of like, think of a gay Super Bowl. And then they knew what I was talking about. Why did I bring that up? Why did I bring this up? The company that I work for, when Dana won in wherever it is that she won, of course the following year the contest took place here in Jerusalem. And what does it mean to organize? Our company was the organizing company of the land arrangements for the Eurovision Song Contest participants. From my point of view, as someone who has to work at a DMC, at a travel company that's dealing with it, what does this mean? It means that at the time, before every 3 blocks in Yugoslavia became a country, I think at the time there were like 18 countries participating. That means, for me, 18 groups, 18 tourist groups. And in this tourist, it wasn't just the one singer. There was the singer, and there was the person who had to do the makeup for the singer, and there was the person who had to do the hair for the singer, and there was the person who had to do the dress for the singer, not to mention all the musicians. Anyway, as things would have it, of every 100 people that came, I would say 89.9% of them were gay. And besides just taking part in the Eurovision, they did touring. And I had the opportunity to meet them. And each one, we didn't know. We didn't know about the restaurants in Tel Aviv. We didn't know about the bars. We didn't know about the parties. We went to the port. We went to TLV. We went to this party. We didn't know. Why don't you people talk? Well, let me tell you, from the day that they left until the unfortunate time when the Intifada started in September of 2000, I never worked so hard in my life, bringing European tourists to Israel. Every email would start, I got your name from whoever who took part in the Eurovision song. It was something unbelievable. That's my little Eurovision tourism story. And I think that the common line that everybody is trying to tell you from this side, and I'm sure it'll be from that side, is that Israel is not only what you see on the news, on CNN, on BBC, on whatever. There's another side of Israel. It's not that those things don't exist. They exist. We are part of the Middle East, and there is a conflict. And anybody who tells you that there isn't is lying. There is a conflict. But there are people on all sides of the fence of the border that want it to end and want to just live and have a good time and bring food home. I just want to tell you my story, and so it's a way to show that Israel is a progressive country, is a country that's open-minded. We're not, with all due respect to Iran, that has a culture that goes back thousands and thousands of years, we are not Iran, and I hear this over and over again when I tell people about the parade like we're going to have tomorrow. I say, oh, I didn't know, I thought it was like in Tehran. It's not. I'm together with my partner
Okay.
Thank you. Since 1982. Most of you were born. Almost. Since 1982. And we live together, and they know about him and his work, and they know about me and my work. And the God's honest truth, we never had a problem. We never had a problem, not with the neighbors, and not with our work, and not in the army, and not anywhere. Because we're just normal people that are living our lives. And we're not trying to bother anybody, and nobody's bothered us. A few years ago, Canada, and as a gay guy that came out in the 70s, there was 2 things that I knew would never happen to me, and that's have kids and get married. And I was satisfied with that, and life is a compromise no matter what you do. And I'm very satisfied with my life. All of a sudden, this issue of gay marriage came up, and some European countries started accepting gay marriage for their own citizens. I think it was in Spain and in whatever. But you have to be, in order to get married in those countries, at least one of the two people has to be a citizen of that country. Anyway, to make a long story short, I think it was in 2003 or 2004, the Canadian government came out with a law accepting gay marriage, and you don't have to be a citizen of Canada. So this meant that anybody can go to Canada, and if you can show you're not married, you can get married. Man and a woman, 2 women, 2 men. Anyway, all of a sudden, I started thinking to myself, I've lived all these years without being married. What do I need to be married for now? What's that going to change? Believe me, it changed things. Haven't had a hot meal since. The laundry gets done in the house. So now I know what all my straight friends are talking about when they get married. Itai, you met Itai this morning. Yesterday, I think he's a mover and shaker, and he says we're going to get a whole bunch of Israeli couples together, and we're going to go together to Canada, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get it approved. Okay, I said to him, if you go, we'll join. Anyway, he got 5 or 6 couples. We went to Canada. Every news camera in North America was there, and we got married. And you know something? It was very emotional. I thought it was just going to be a bureaucratic paperwork operation. But all of a sudden, at the age of I did something that I thought I would never do, and it was very moving, to tell you the truth. Because what did marriage mean? It meant that the world, the social being as the world is built today, accepts me and him as a married couple. Married, we're together, we're partners. We're going to go through this world together. I knew it anyway, he knew it anyway, but now the world knows it and it's legal. Anyway, we did it, we came back to Israel, and Avi and I went to the, here in Israel everybody has an ID. And in their ID it says your marital status. So we went to the Ministry of the Interior, and we brought our IDs and said, okay, here are all our papers from Canada, we're married, Israel recognizes civil marriages that take place overseas. Please change our status. And the poor girl who was there, she had a dark complexion, very pretty girl. But let me tell you, she turned as white as that girl. That poor girl, she didn't know what to do with herself, and she came back to me shaking, and she said, "I'm very, very sorry, but we cannot." And I said, "Why? Here's the papers." She says, "Because you're 2 guys, don't you know that?" So I said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, sweetheart, relax. Take some water and relax." Okay. Anyway, here in Israel, I don't know how it is in the EU, but here you go straight to the Supreme Court. It's not like I know in the States you would go to the local court and then the state court and then a federal court. Here you go straight to the Supreme Court. So we were 5 couples, 2 lawyers. Off to the Supreme Court we went, demanding that they recognize our marriage. Israel is a signatory to an international agreement that if the government of another country recognizes a marriage, Israel has to recognize it too. Israel has no civil marriage here. You cannot go to the city hall, the municipality of Tel Aviv, and get married. A Christian must go to a priest or a minister, a Muslim must go to an imam, and a Jew must go to a rabbi. So what happens if me and, say, my Christian girlfriend want to get married? We cannot get married in Israel because a priest won't marry her to a Jew, and a rabbi won't marry me to a Christian. So what do? We have weekend packages to Cyprus. All inclusive. The flight, the meals, the honeymoon, a bottle of champagne, and the license. And in 48 hours you come back with a piece of paper that the government of Cyprus recognizes your marriage. And you go to the same Ministry of the Interior that I went to, and you're married.